Where's the cabbage? Where's the lamb sauce?
And who loves you? And who do you love?
Guilty, 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 guilty.
Wow. 6'7" lizard people. A gorgon, a zombie, a vampire.
Wow, this is a freak show.
Live from the new kingdom, it's the Our Big Dumb Mouth podcast. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Rich.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hey yo to everyone out there. My name is Midnight Mike, and Cretched is over there on screen. Yes.
I hate this place.
I am.
Nothing works here.
I'm having interface problems, so nothing does work here.
Well, we made it. I think we're streaming. We overcome many technical difficulties, and we made an appearance here live. So everything should be going just fine.
I pre-recorded this. Is this not live?
Oh, you got the script?
Yeah, I pre-recorded this whole thing 2 days ago.
Fantastic. Well, the show is that predictable that we probably could do. It's the same stuff over and over again. I read through some of the comments sometimes, like on different platforms, whether it's the Apple iTunes or YouTube, and sometimes people give us praise. Sometimes people give us constructive criticism. Sometimes people just say mean stuff. That's the nature of it. But there's like one or two comments. We'll get it from time to time. It's like, hey, I wish you guys would cover more stories like this, or you guys don't cover the important stories. And to that I say, we have to do the show that we feel is necessary for right now, and that does involve a lot of shenanigans, silliness, and merrymaking. Like if I cover like what I feel everyone else is covering, like the important information, then I'm kind of like audience captured at that point. Then I'm just doing what people like think I should do instead of what I think I should do.
And now you're just Tim Pool.
Yeah, and I do not want to be like that. Obviously, we do not do this show for clicks, clickbait, making money, or any sort of notoriety at all.
Hey, yo.
So we got to do the show that we feel is, if that feels right in the moment. And that will include a lot of silly stuff or things that you don't feel are important. And to that I say, there's a lot of other shows that probably would cover those topics. And honestly, we just do 2 shows a week. There's only so much we can cover in 2 shows. So we're going to miss some stuff, obviously, too.
Yeah, and I see the comments in the same comments you're referring to, but I see comments even within the Discord where people will post up a story, 3 or 4 days later about, why aren't you talking about this? I'm like, well, we did. Mm-hmm. So you have to watch the entire show.
There are quite a number of those that I will get sent to, especially like on Instagram or like, hey, Mike, did you check out this UFO story? And I'm like, hey, thanks. Yeah, we did talk about that 2 weeks ago. I'm pretty up on paranormal and UFO news, probably to a fault, and we might obviously beat that topic into a bloody pulp. But it's a topic that I love, and so I try to stay up on all those wonderful pieces of news. So, and as formulaic as this show is, it's also consistent, and so we will do this: a little Alex Jones clips of the week.
I've said it before. It's the only reason I show up.
A good chunk of people only want to hear about this segment. They only want to listen to this segment. And maybe for like an end of year, like a megamix, I'll just do like the best of Alex Jones clips of the week 2025. Edit it together, and that'll be like a mega mix for the Patreon people. I don't know if they'll like that. I know some people on Patreon just want me to post up like a continuous hour-long nonsensical stream of Alex Jones. Like I was
going to say, you could do just a live stream just running 24/7 of all the just AJ clips.
It is. I have an incredible amount. I can write a quick Python program that just kind of glues everything together. If you guys want that, that might be fun. I don't know, but it's something I'm considering. But until that time, we will play Alex Jones Clips of the Week right now. We're going to go back to December 4th, I believe. Yes, December 4th, all the way last week. Here we go.
Come on. It's actually in my notes. I left the notes in the car like an idiot, like I always do. Or always at the coffee table or bathroom, Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah, I know. Yeah, right. Turka Muhammad Jahan. What would your grandmother think about that? You got Jeffrey Goldberg involved?
Jeff Goldberg?
Jeffrey Goldberg is involved.
That's Jeff Goldberg.
Jeff Goldberg over there. Yeah, he's right there.
It's Jeff Goldberg.
There it is.
That was Jeff Goldberg. That's George Soros.
That was Jeff Goldberg.
We're going to go to no, we did Thursday. We're going to go to Friday the 5th. Ooh, very spooky.
I am a big boy. I said, North Africans. Is that a joke? Thank you so much for that, Mike. They're coming to kill me. There's hits out on me. The French are going to kill me. Oh, hit teams. God, I'm scared. What's the latest intel there, Mike? We're talking to the next governor of Minnesota, Mike.
No, I'm not running.
Governor of Minnesota? Oh, right.
No, I'm not running.
You know, there's a lot of money to be made there.
Yeah, he mentioned a lot of stuff in there. Candace Owens, big right-wing influencer, claims that the French have a hit squad out on her. I didn't pull that story. Maybe we should.
Wasn't it a French
foreign
hit squad?
French Foreign Legion, specifically.
But with an Israeli hitman on it or something.
Yes, I believe. And that there may have been like a more recent story. I didn't grab it. Now that it's brought up. But she's been claiming this for a few weeks now, and I think someone attached to the White House recently said that it could be true, but I don't know. I didn't pull the article. Maybe it's out there. If I have time, I'll see if I can find it. But it's fascinating. She's also right now in a back and forth war with one Timothy Poole. Timothy Poole lost his crap on his show and screamed.
Did he?
Screamed bloody murder. He lost his, pardon my French, he lost his shit live.
You're saying he crashed out. That's what the kids say these days?
He crashed out.
My guy.
And called Candace Owens the C word, which it was crazy. You shouldn't say that.
Chimichanga?
Not chimichanga. The C word. See you next Tuesday. See you next Tuesday, Gretchen.
Wow.
But,
Isn't that John Landis used to do that?
Yeah. Maybe I'll play that. After the Alex Jones Clips of the Week, I'll play Tim Poole crashing out. That might be fun. All right. But until then, we're going to go to Monday. Here we go.
AI is dreaming, and it's hallucinating, and it's having nightmares. The general gives the order, and all of them go, blah, 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 blah. He puts his balls on the table and tells them, F you, and now they're coming. I miss my country, and I dream of living in Somalia again. I was over at Susie's house, and it was very... I'm a Somali girl taken from my country. Mike, great to have you here with us. Lady, we ain't got a sexual obsession with you. Oh, Trump has an obsession with me, like it's sexual. Show me George Washington. It's a black guy. Very racist. We're not breeding with the blacks.
George Washington. Show me potato salad.
All right. That was a good one. We're going to go
Boy, you need to do here's your figure your Python script out for this one. All the times he's just made noises.
Yeah, I'm trying to,
because that's a ringtone.
Here's the thing, is that when Gix collects these for us, there is some sort of interpretation going on. So it's not labeled like Foley or noise. It comes across as whatever it interprets. Sometimes it's just like a U and an H, like an but there's more to it than that. So I got to go manually.
It tries to spell out his nonsense sounds.
It doesn't do onomatopoeia, and that's what you need. You need an onomatopoeia.
I love a onomatopoeia.
And
a little bit of white sauce on it. Oh, it's delicious.
It is. It's really good stuff. But Python does not do well with that. But we'll go to Tuesday here we go.
And I'm sitting there watching guys in spandex. These are quotes. Epstein acted alone and wasn't even a child molester. How do you know he's shagging? I'm not into getting peed on. Let me land in Russia and immediately go to a hotel room and get pissed on. Now, you didn't tell me you were going to say this. That's a hardcore demon. The TPUSA killed Charlie Kirk. That there are so many pussies in this country. Trump blows Bongino and Patel. You can't use the wrong pronouns or you go to jail for life. You don't go, "Rrr." You just can't say things that are hateful or disinformation or that are rude.
Which one was it where he was making all the noise? I see the one that says, and the general gives you orders and blam, 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 blam.
I believe it was Monday. It was the Monday one.
I know which one it was, but what was the name of the clip?
Oh, jeez. I don't even know the name of the clip off the top of my head.
All right, I'll dig for it.
It just kind of truncates it. It just doesn't even deal with that.
I found it. Yeah, it just ignored it. It just says, I was over at Susie's house, and it just cut it off. But
oh, okay. Let's see.
Yeah, I was over at Susie's house, and it was...
Yeah, it didn't interpret that at all. It didn't even try to
be fair,
spell.
I don't know how to spell that either.
But your R's and an E.
How do you spell the word meow?
I don't know.
All right.
The closest we can do to spelling that would be something like this. It sounds like kind of like a cat sound, but
a little bit.
Okay, one last one here. We got Wednesday. Here we go.
Could suck a golf ball through a garden hose. Could suck the chrome off a trailer hitch. Go to movies and go play pool and drink and party all day long. Gosh almighty, I can tune on over to the Satan channel. I got raped by this North African invader, and we need to ship these people out. I'm not a black person. I'm an Arab. Mike wants to ask about backing Putin Trump. Somalia is a crap hole culture. So that wouldn't be good for you. Give me diarrhea. It's the side effect. That's retarded. They are of their father, the old serpent, the devil. They're having the most passionate sex. Totally. Thank you, Mike. We're on a highway to hell.
All right, there we go.
He's all over the place.
Yeah, he was.
Hey, where is he on getting shut down, purchased, bought out? Where is that? I thought the sheriff was coming today to take all his stuff.
I don't know yet. He was ambiguous about that. He's not saying exactly. The judge has ruled there supposed to be some legal filings moving, and we don't know. There's no update, so I have no idea. Let's see here.
To be fair, he may have been advised by counsel to stop talking about it.
That very well could be as well. Let's see here. I got that Tim Pool clip, I believe, if you want to hear Tim Pool crashing out.
DM me.
Yeah, so here it is. This is maybe Tim Pool crashing out on his show. I think it is. I didn't pull it. I just found it on Twitter. Didn't pull it directly, so I'm taking a big risk here, just playing this off the cuff. We will see. Let me make sure I got my show leveler up and going here. Here we go. But yeah, Tim Pool lost it because he claimed that there was a drive-by shooting at his house. Like someone fired a couple shots, and he doesn't have enough money for security and all that kind of stuff. And people are accusing him of being Jesse Smollett and making it up. And so Tim Pool...
Wait, Tim Pool and Jussie Smollett are the same person?
Well, they're accusing Tim of faking this in order to get attention, which I don't know if I believe that. I don't believe that. It's not something I believe.
I don't put it past people like that.
I don't.
You have to maintain. It's a constant thing. You have to maintain that relevance. It's like what's his butt in Minnesota? Like, people are driving by yelling at the house.
Maybe you're right. Though? Maybe he's just making stuff up. But this is his little rant here.
Candace Owens is a fucking evil scumbag. She is a degenerate cunt. She is burning everything down, and she's gloating and smiling while she does it. And you know what you fucking told me? She has no security. She doesn't fucking deal with the shit we have to deal with. She's a piece of shit. She's making everyone else suffer. And all of these fucking conservatives out there that send me these fucking messages have no fucking balls to call her out. More and more people have started doing it. They send me these fucking messages. Good for you, Tim.
Stop
Good for
cursing.
you, Tim. I wasn't the first person to do it. I'm not going to take credit for that. But don't fucking DM me like I did something for you as you fucking cower, scared that she'll put you on her thumbnail and claim you benefited from Charlie Kirk's assassination, which he's doing to me right fucking now.
Yeah, that was
I'm fucking done with these people.
She has security, just not on the level of you.
Oh, yeah, the one fat guy you mentioned with no wall and no barrier in a suburban neighborhood with neighbors. She doesn't give two fucking shits. No one's out for her. She's lying about all of this. You told me you went to her house and she's got a 4-foot wall and one fat guy. And she doesn't give a shit about her security.
We're done.
Meanwhile, I get bullets fired at my fucking property and I have to go live in the middle of nowhere. And I got fucking strangers coming up to my house in Maryland, breaking in. I got people showing up and beating up the residents who try to live
This is
here.
real.
How the fuck am I
It's
supposed to sell
real.
this
I'm
property?
mad.
And it's all lies. It's all hypocrisy, and it is for the purpose of making money. And she does not live the way other people live. And
He just goes on and on and on and on, and he's angry, and Candace fires back, and it's a big back and forth. And I don't think you should curse that much. It was a bit gratuitous. You don't have to curse that much. I get it. He's angry, or he's faking angry. But yeah, too much cursing. Too much cursing.
He should be bleeping that.
Well, he needs a dump button for live things like that. You got like a 8-second delay. Get a dump button going, and problem solved. Get bleeped out. So
big massive dumps.
Yeah, but then Howard comes down the hall and yells at you.
Yeah, that's true. That does happen. Well, there you go. There he is. Tim Pool losing stuff. MAGA is.
And that was today. That was today.
That was, I think, yesterday or the day before. But there's they're going back.
I'm
and
curious
forth.
what the fallout's going to be from that. So.
Well, the fallout is Tim is threatening to not do his live show anymore because of security.
Did he say he's going to quit today?
He didn't say today. He said possibly.
I'll quit and shut the show down.
Yeah.
Maybe I should just quit and shut the show down.
He in not the exact same phrasing, but kind of he did.
But I'll quit today.
There it is.
He did. He did threaten to shut his live show down. Now he would do his other clips and stuff like that, but that does seem like a bit of a work. Like it is the end of the year. You want to hype up some stuff. Maybe his subscriptions are down, money's down. Revenue's down across the board for, I think, pretty much a good number of content creators. We're constantly in the red.
Because we're talking about them.
Yeah. And so, yeah, it worked. And we rarely talk about Timothy Pool. I mean, I play his clips, but we don't really talk about him as like a personality.
Hey, yo.
Speaking of which, the image feed is still stuck.
Oh, it is?
We're going to have to get a script to fix it.
Yeah, I'm going to unsuck it.
Wait, what?
No, what? Hey.
Suck yo.
All right, we'll move on. I got some actual news here. And
wait, that wasn't actual news?
Well, that's more drama. That's more drama infighting amongst the conservative Republican groups. And, or I guess...
It's two different shows, or two people on two shows that I don't listen to or watch, yelling at each other about something that I'm not really sure what they're yelling about.
Back in the day, we would call this a radio war. And that's what it seems like is happening. It is a classic radio war. It only helps Candace, and it only helps Tim. It's controversy, yelling back and forth.
Well, if it's like a true radio war, are they both in on it?
Yeah, well, that's the question. That is a true radio war where it's kind of like an unspoken rivalry because it does help the ratings of both shows. So it very well could be that.
And then they'll bury the hatchet by each appearing on each other's show on the same day.
That very well could be too. We'll see. We'll find out in 2026, Gretchen, after we pump up these ratings for him for the next few weeks. So, all right, some other news, some real news.
Now for today's news.
I do miss Biden, like he would give those incredible speeches and the way he like meandered and wandered to the podium and then how he got lost when his speech was done. I do miss that.
I like how he suddenly got angry and then would mispronounce things.
That was good too.
Talk about being deprived of your pride.
I do miss him. That was great. He had some good clips right there.
Look at your child.
Yeah.
Your child.
He did get angrier than most people, and like in a great, a statesman kind of way. But he was just also this old man angry.
Well, yeah, that was the best Biden ever.
You know what it was? It was the best Biden that we ever got a chance to know.
I think he's better than he's ever been. This version of Biden is the best Biden ever.
And that guy's still on the air, making a shit ton of money. Pardon my language. All right, here we go. Here is the headline here. And I don't like this headline, but this is what we got here, people. China would destroy U.S. military and fight over Taiwan. Top secret documents warn.
Wow.
What is?
I know how to fix this, by the way.
Okay.
More money.
Oh, you know what? That could be the key here. And maybe that's what they're getting at right here. But you'd imagine, we haven't even gotten into this article yet. The top secret this document, they wouldn't want this out there. This kind of makes us look bad. Who leaked this? Or was it leaked on purpose, like you said, in order to drum up concern and possibly start funneling even more money to the Pentagon? We'll find out in this article. This is written by the Telegraph, UK, okay? Oh, I got to use the archive link. Yes.
You got to go around that paywall. You got to jump that pay fence.
And the Telegraph's trying to hack me. Not this time. Not this time. Here it is. China would defeat the U.S. military in a war over Taiwan, according to a top-secret U.S. government assessment. Well, it's not so top-secret anymore, is it?
And we're going to read it on the news.
U.S. reliance on costly, sophisticated weapons leaves it exposed to China's ability to mass-produce cheaper systems in overwhelming numbers, the highly classified overmatched brief warns. They're not saying where this came from, but okay, well, maybe we'll find out. So a national security official under Joe Biden who reviewed the document is said to have turned pale on realizing Beijing had redundancy after redundancy for every trick we had up our sleeve, the New York Times reported. Losing Taiwan, the U.S.'s key bulwark against the Chinese power in the Western Pacific, would deliver a severe strategic and symbolic blow to Washington. The country's most advanced aircraft carrier, the USS Gerald R. Ford, recently sent to the Caribbean for Donald Trump's crackdown on drug traffickers, is often destroyed in war games outlined in the brief. Didn't we talk about the USS Gerald Ford not that long ago? Where they were
going to send it over to Israel, and then we had a nice image of Gerald Ford himself getting it out there.
Yeah, he was towing it out there in his little paddle boat.
I can find that.
The country's in the war games, that thing's destroyed every single time. The $13 billion vessel, which entered service in 2022, years after of delay, is vulnerable to attacks from diesel-electric submarines and China's arsenal of some 600 hypersonic missiles capable of traveling 5 times the speed of sound. I find it hard to believe we do not have those same capabilities.
Well, the diesel-electrics, you can hear those coming.
But when it comes to, they got 600 hypersonic weapons. What if we got 700? You know what I'm saying? We can just keep jacking those missiles up. I mean, why do we care about theirs if we got ours? I understand taking out our ships, but we can take out theirs too. It seems like we might have something else up our sleeve that they're not accounting for. But according to this, Beijing displays its ship-destroying missiles estimated at traveling 8 times the speed of sound at the Beijing military parade in September. So I'd like to show off that stuff. Nevertheless, the Pentagon is planning to build 9 additional Ford-class aircraft carriers, while it has yet to deploy a single hypersonic missile, according
that we
know of. Yeah, it does. This is starting to make us sound like so far pretty weak and pathetic. It does. They have like hundreds of hypersonic missiles. We got nothing.
We can't even make one.
According to this, Eric Gomez, a research fellow at the Taiwan Security Monitor, said the end result of the war game was unclear when he participated in a war game for a Taiwan conflict, but noted that the U.S. suffered heavy losses. The U.S. loses a lot of ships in the process, a lot of F-35s, a lot of other tactical aircraft in the theater, and they're degraded pretty rapidly too, he told the Telegraph. I think the high cost of what was is what was really sobering when we did an after-action summary. We're like, okay, like you guys lost 100-plus fifth-generation aircraft, multiple destroyers, a couple submarines, and a couple carriers. It's like, oh gosh, man, that was a heavy toll. I guess this is what they said after the war games, of this devastating information. Well, according to Hegseth, China could destroy U.S. carriers in minutes. Last year, Pete Hegseth, the defense secretary, said that we lose every time in Pentagon's war games against China, and predicted the Asian country's hypersonic missiles could destroy aircraft carriers within minutes. China has significantly expanded its arsenal of short, medium, and intermediate range missiles, which means it could destroy many of the U.S. advanced weapons well before they reach Taiwan. Okay, that's not very reassuring when it comes to us protecting Taiwan, if we choose to do that. Now, if you remember, maybe last year or earlier this year, I read an article from the Council on Foreign Relations that did an assessment of what the U.S. should do if China decides to forcibly take back Taiwan. And according to the Council on Foreign Relations, we should just basically throw our hands up in the air and slowly back away like Homer into a bush. That's essentially what the Council on Foreign Relations was saying. It's like, we can't get involved.
Yeah, let China have it, because, why not?
Well, meanwhile, according to this article, the big five defense companies, are a number of which has dwindled from 10 times that amount in the 90s, continue to sell the U.S. government costlier versions of the same ships, aircraft, and missiles, according to the New York Times. Well, yeah, that's business, because you know what? The Pentagon keeps buying them. If there was any demand for bigger missiles, bigger ships, then they would probably create some ships to fill that demand in missiles. But they're not even talking about our super secret cybernetic cyborg creations and all that stuff.
If they're going to build more aircraft, because the Gerald R. Ford is only, I think it's only like 10 years old.
They said it was launched in 2022. It's new.
Yeah, it's new. And I believe it's the only one of its class. It's the first new class of aircraft carrier in like 40 years or something. Anyway, why don't they take that technology and the hypersonic missiles and build a hypersonic aircraft carrier? Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
That is the way to do it. That's the winning solution.
That's right. If China attacks Taiwan, like, I'll be there in 10 minutes. By the way, this thing doesn't stop, so we're going to hit something.
You'll have to make a big turn to slow down.
Yeah. We got to really ease this one in. It's like parallel parking a truck.
According to back to the article here, defense officials have realized the U.S. is vulnerable because these complex weapon systems are impossible to mass produce following a series of recent wars, including the Ukraine-Russian conflict, which has shown the devastating capabilities of relatively cheap weapons like drones. Yeah, it is true.
Drones and the what's the retrofitted bombs that the Russians are using?
I forget the name of them, but
where they put the glide bombs. Glide
bombs. Yeah. Congress has earmarked around $1 billion to produce 340 small drones over the course of the next 2 years.
Wait, let's do the math. How much?
$1 billion for
produce how many?
340,000.
That's $3,000 a piece, basically.
That's kind of cheap, right? That's not bad.
Well, for military pricing, but they're just using off-the-shelf parts.
You're right.
That's where you make the money.
Yeah. Mr. Trump has appointed Dan Driscoll, the U.S. head of armed forces, as his drone guy, charged with modernizing America's outdated tech and countering enemies and their drone efforts. However, the U.S. is nevertheless playing catch-up with its adversaries, and experts have previously told The Telegraph that it cannot compete with the cost with countries like China, where labor costs are lower and regulations a little looser.
Hey, a bunch of people die building that thing. I don't care. We got more of them.
A decisive change in U.S. policy would likely need substantial investment, yet defense spending is at its lowest level in around 80 years, at roughly 3.4% the GDP. Well, that does seem, I don't know, like we keep hearing it keeps going up and
that
up.
number keeps going up.
I don't know if I believe
it may be lower than it's been percentage-wise, but it's still way more dollar-wise.
I don't know. I'm having a tough time reconciling these numbers.
By the way, I did put up an image here of the USS Gerald R. Ford in action. Look at it go.
I see that there. And there he is. He's tugging away.
He'll be there in a few weeks.
He's a capable president. He was. Mm-hmm. He's very good. Very strong rowing arms. Well, Jake Sullivan. You remember that? You remember Jakey Sell? Yeah, Jakey, former national security advisor for Biden. They should make note of that. Former national security advisor.
Well, and earlier in this article, it was said that this information was reviewed by somebody from the Biden administration.
Yes.
So.
Kawawa.
Yeah, it was Dr. Kawawa.
Dr. Kawawa.
Kawawa.
Former national security advisor, has warned the U.S. would quickly run out of essential munitions like artillery shells in a war with China.
Well, stop giving them to Ukraine.
Yeah, we need those shells. Internal Pentagon assessment showed China vastly outnumbering the U.S. in its arsenal of almost all cruise and ballistic missiles. Both superpowers maintain a stockpile of 400 intercontinental ballistic missiles, ICBMs. The U.S. reportedly used up roughly a quarter of its high-altitude missile interceptors to defend Israel against Iran's 12-day ballistic missile barrage in June. Well, we want those back.
Yeah, you owe me.
Yeah, we gave them to you. We used them. The least you could do is give us them back. And it's been a while. How long does it take to make? It's like when you lend somebody a CD and you never see it again. Moreover, China's state-sponsored hacking group, Volt Typhoon, has installed malware on critical computer networks for power grids, communication systems, and water supplies for American military bases. Well, no crap. They probably have... I just read an article not that long ago, I think earlier this week, where another article raising the red flag saying, hey, our energy grid is really vulnerable. China could have backdoors, not just on military bases when it comes to their energy grid, but the U.S. energy grid as well. Which, probably. Oh, look at this. They have like a little diagram here of how the Taiwan invasion could develop. And basically, you got like a lot of red Chinese boats around the island of Taiwan. They surround the thing, and that's how you win. And then they come in with all these arrows, and these big arrows scare the hell out of the Taiwanese, and they run away. See, the security threat, which U.S. officials have struggled to locate. What are they talking about there? The security threat, which U.S. officials have struggled to locate, could hamstring the military's ability to move weapons and forces if war breaks out in the Pacific. Xi Jinping, the Chinese leader, claims seizing Taiwan is a historical inevitability and has ordered the military to be ready to seize it by 2027. So that's the time frame, okay?
I like how they announced it.
Yeah. They're just putting it out there. Get ready.
April 9th, like at 3:30 in the afternoon, because we need to get up. We're going to sleep in. We need to get up. We're going to have a nice breakfast, and then like a late lunch, and then we'll go to Taiwan.
At least you got to appreciate their honesty here.
They sent a calendar appointment.
Yeah. Nevertheless.
Oh, look, there it is.
Nevertheless, I think they're still talking about Jake Sullivan here. He thought unlikely to move unless China achieves an overwhelming military advantage that it could effectively be certain to take the island. Failing to do so would be a humiliating blow that would likely end his 13-year premiership. Yeah, so Taiwan's not going to go peacefully. They're going to blow themselves up. They will destroy all 14 of their fabrication facilities. And they have it is not an easy thing to do to take over Taiwan. You think it's just an island, but it's got mountainous regions, it's got rocky beaches. There's no optimal places to land there. It's going to be a challenge.
Called the Taiwanese, who have a whole bunch of weapons, including nuclear weapons. So.
Yeah, they're
never admitted to, but of course they do.
They're not to be messed with. And it's probably not going to be a walk in the park for China. And China probably knows this. It's not going to be easy. So maybe we just sit back, let them duke it out for a little bit, and then we come in like the heroes we are and save the day. See, China and U.S.
I mean, it would be this sort of thing, this sort of conflict between China and Taiwan. I mean, let's just say China built up a bunch of their landing craft. They started a bombing campaign, and they just planned to roll in. It would be pretty conventional for the first 24 hours. I think it goes nuclear very quickly.
Yeah, here's the thing that Taiwan has threatened to do is that they do have some long-range missiles. And they said, China, if you attack us, we're firing our missiles at your dams. And
that's what you do. You attack civilian infrastructure.
And so they're going to target Chinese dams, and it escalates from there. And it's going to spiral out of control. Yeah, big time.
Well, and their manufacturing capability in Shenzhen and all those, all those cities where there's just huge amounts of manufacturing going on. Yeah.
China.
It's a day wrecker.
China. 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 China.
You take China.
You go over to China.
Go over to
China. 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 You take China.
China.
China. I love them. China. 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 I have to have my China. China. China because China. 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 China now. China. China. China.
I know China very well. China. 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 China.
China. China. China.
Northwest Wisconsin, where I'm from.
It's China to me. China.
Oh boy. I did have this little clip here. When it comes to world news, there is some world news happening right now. I will bring this up on screen as best I can. Give me one moment here. This comes from WION on YouTube. You guys can check them out. And the headline here is Russia and Chinese bombers carry out joint patrol in Japanese skies. So this is some world news here, people. We're getting ready for a conflict.
And Japan is feeling the heat first with China, and now Russia is also piling on some pressure.
I'm sorry, what's that, Christian?
I was going to say, how to solve that conflict.
How's that? How are we going to solve that conflict?
More money.
Oh, you're right. It always comes down to just a little bit more money.
Mm-hmm.
Give me money, I kill you!
No. Give me money, I don't.
I'll kill them.
The two superpowers are now testing the resolve of Tokyo. Japan, which is already facing heat from China over its comments on Taiwan, is now witnessing a new threat on the horizon. Our next story takes a close look at the two Asian giants that are moving their pieces as Japan is feeling the pressure. Take a look.
Oh, cool music.
Tokyo woke up to a new threat. Russian and Chinese bombers roared in the skies above, conducting joint patrols right on Japan's doorstep. It all happened in the wee hours on Tuesday.
Oh, man.
Russian Tu-95 strategic bombers met two Chinese H-6 bombers for an 8-hour patrol from the Sea of Japan to the East China Sea. While Moscow and Beijing call them routine flights, Tokyo is anxious because both the heavy bombers are built to carry nuclear weapons. The horror of these weapons of mass destruction is painfully etched in Japan's collective memory. Along with these frontline bombers, China and Russia also sent their fighter jets. China deployed its J-16 fighters, which were joined by Russian battle-tested Su-30s. Their route raises suspicion and anxiety in Japan. The bombers flew between Japan's Okinawa and Miyako Islands, right through the heart of Japan's air defense zone. In response, Japan scrambled jets and implemented air defense identification measures.
All right, we can leave it there. So, tensions. Very concerning, but, I think we've seen this before. So, you got anything else to say about that, Gretchen, before we move on to some more news?
I would be more comfortable with this sort of saber-rattling if we all spent more money on military-industrial complex.
Yeah, me too. Well, what about if we got some smart people involved to figure this out, like people from Stanford? Would that ease your concern?
Only if they're agreeable to spending more money.
They might be. We'll find out here with this article. Turns out there's some problems over at Stanford. Why are 38% of Stanford students
I had this story.
saying they are disabled? Why are there so many Stanford students that are disabled? What is going on with our youth?
Because everyone's neurodivergent these days.
Okay.
What's your source on this? Let's see if I pulled this.
I got reason.com.
Let's see what I got. Yep. Damn it. All right.
Well, this is a long article. Very long.
It's because people read slower because they're disabled.
So the students at America's elite universities are supposed to be the smartest, most promising young people in the country. And yet, shocking percentages of them are claiming academic accommodations designed for students with learning disabilities, like me. In an article published this week by The Atlantic, educators reported that Rose Horowitz lays out some shocking numbers. At Brown and Harvard, 20% of undergraduate students are disabled. At Amherst College, that's 34%. At Stanford University, it's a galling 38%. Most of these students are claiming mental health conditions and learning disabilities like anxiety, depression, and ADHD. So they're just all hyped up on Adderall constantly. And that's a disability. I know a bunch of guys that were on Adderall. They weren't disabled, not when they got on it. Obviously, something's off here. The idea that some of the most elite selective universities in America, school that requires the 99th percentile SAT scores and sterling essays, would be educating a large number of genuinely learning disabled students is clearly bogus. A student with real cognitive struggles is much more likely to end up at community college, not higher education. Do you agree with that assessment? Unless it all comes down to money, Gretchen, right? It all comes down to money.
Well, the joke of it is, not joke, the irony of it is that most of the people who go to these very expensive schools aren't paying for it anyway, either through grants, loans, or some sort of scholarships, that sort of thing, financial aid. It's something like, I think it was Harvard, something like 80% of people attending Harvard are on various forms of financial aid. But that's federal dollars that allows them to just continue to keep cranking up the base tuition amounts.
Well, it says here, to be fair, some of the students receiving these accommodations do need them, but the current language of the Americans with Disability Act allows students to get expansive accommodations with little more than a doctor's note. Oh, okay. So these are wussies.
Yes, they are. A doctor's note from an online, what do you call it, a telehealth appointment. It's not someone you went in and met with. It's not someone that you've been, your regular doctor you've been seeing for 10 years. This is and it's usually not even a doctor. It's a physician's assistant. It's a certified nursing assistant or an RN, that sort of thing. Because if you notice, they changed the language a few years ago from doctor to medical provider, so they can allow other people to do this sort of work, to even create prescribe drugs and things like that. So to your point, yes, these are people who are self diagnosing as, I'm I'm neurodivergent. I'm differently abled. I need accommodations, which does two things. One, it pisses me off because these are just lazy motherfuckers. Sorry for swearing. Okay. I'll bleep myself. Beep. And two, it actively disadvantages people who legitimately need these accommodations because you got a bunch of lazy bastards in there just like, oh, I need more time on my exam. I need someone to read this for me. All this, like, it takes away from the funding that normally goes to people who legitimately need this.
Yeah.
I see this over and over. You see people talking about neurodivergent is the current term du jour, based on TikTok trends and things like that, and people come out and these are the same folks who have been in therapy for 25 years and they're on 30 prescription drugs and all these. Like, no, suck it up, sack up, and get your work done. But these are the same people who then have trouble, quote unquote, finding a job after college too, with their master's degrees in medieval Pan-Asian gender studies.
These people, these are probably the same type of people that take their parents to interviews with them.
Yes, very much so. If you did a Venn diagram, they'd be a single circle.
Kill disabled people.
I didn't say that, Alex.
I mean, he did say this though.
Let's kill disabled kids.
Wow. While some students are no doubt seeking these accommodations as semi-conscious cheaters, I think most genuinely.
They're not semi-conscious cheaters; they're deliberate cheaters.
Well, he says here, I think most genuinely identify with the mental health conditions they're using to get extra time on tests. Over the past few years, there's been a rising push to see mental health and neurodevelopmental conditions not just as a medical fact, but as an identity marker. Mm-hmm. So they want to be categorized.
I'm special.
Yeah, they want to be. It makes sense with all the social justice accolades you can receive. It makes sense. They want to build their own little niche group they can identify with to get special treatment. Will Lindstrom, director of the Regent Center for Learning Disorders at the University of Georgia, told Horowitz that he sees a growing number of students with this perception. It's almost like it's part of their identity, Lindstrom told her. By the time we see them, they're convinced they have a neurodevelopmental disorder. What's driving this trend? Well, the way conditions like ADHD, autism, and anxiety get talked about online, the place where most young people first learn about these conditions, is probably a contributing factor. Online creators tend to paint a very broad picture of the condition they describe. A quick scroll on TikTok reveals creators labeling everything from always wearing headphones to being bad at managing your time to doodling in class as a sign of someone may have a diagnosable condition. According to these videos, who isn't disabled? And I agree.
By the way, so let's go through those. The three examples they gave. Always wearing headphones mean you're disabled.
Yes, I am disabled.
Well, if those headphones are part of like a Bauer hockey helmet,
possibly,
maybe. Yeah. Being bad at managing your time means you're disabled. Doodling in class means you're disabled.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay. Let's see. How does this wind up here? There's only two more paragraphs. So far, not bad. Risk aversion, too, seems like a compelling factor driving bright students to claim learning disabilities. Our nation's most promising students are also its least assured. So afraid of failure, bad grades, or poorly received essay, they take any sign of struggle as a diagnosable condition. A few decades ago, a student who enrolled in college and found the material harder to master their first time, less easily managed than in high school, when they would have seemed relatively normal. Now, every time she or he picks up her phone, a barrage of influences is clamoring to tell her that it is a sign of ADHD. Discomfort and difficulty are no longer perceived as typical parts of growing up. Yes, it's also the ego. I'm seeing this in young people too. It shatters their ego when they think that they're going to do something well and they, in fact, do not. And it forces them to confront the fact that they're not as good as they thought they were at any particular topic.
Yeah, there's somebody out there. I mean, yes, especially kids coming from a high school scenario where they were coddled or where they were part of a gifted program or they got lots of participation trophies, and then they get into you see the same thing in sports as you go into higher and higher tiers of sports of educational institutions in the corporate world as you get higher in your career ladder. That narrows down the field of people in that. So everybody is as good as you were or better, or you are or better. And if you're coming out of one of these coddling public schools where everyone gets a participation trophy and everyone graduates with a 4.27 or something, I remember 4.0 was the highest grade you could ever get. Now there's people graduating like 4.9 and all this crap.
Wow.
Anyway, yeah, it's ridiculous because they're getting so much extra bonus points. They can
Don't believe the 5.6.
Anyway, so they get to a place and luckily you have some professors still towing the line on this one saying, no, this is welcome to college. You have to do the work. You have to do the research. You have to write your papers. You have to do your exams, whatever it is. And all of a sudden they're freaking out and they're going down to the counseling office and they're getting signed off to get accommodations and taking it away from people who legitimately need it.
Well, to finish this up, in this context, it's easy to read the rise of academic accommodations among the nation's most intelligent students as yet another manifestation of the risk aversion endemic in the striving children, I guess, in the striving children of the upper middle class. For most elite college students who receive them, academic accommodations are a protection against failure and self-doubt. Unnecessary accommodations are a two-front form of cheating. They give you an unjust leg up on your fellow students, but they also allow you to cheat yourself out of genuine intellectual growth. If you mask learning deficiencies with extra time on tests, soothe social anxiety by foregoing presentations, and neglect time management skills with your deadline extensions, you might forge a path to better grades, but you'll find yourself less capable of tackling the challenges of adult life. That is correct. Yeah, okay. This is Reason Magazine. Seems pretty reasonable to me.
Someone's going to sue this magazine.
Probably this person who did this, who wrote this, Emma. Oh, Emma's going to be toilet papered. She's going to be TP'd, and they're going to put cherry bombs in her toilet, and she's going to be harassed offline.
Let's see. Let's look at the comments here. Let's see what we got going on in the comments. Someone wrote a wall of text, so that person's pissed. Now they're arguing. Yep. Let's see. Here you go. They get extra benefits by claiming to be disabled. It's a way to game the system.
Yeah. It's back and forth. It's Reason Magazine, so I don't suspect like a lot of trolls, but there's a few. Okay.
No, it's just a lot of people who are upset because you can't possibly say this about people. It's mean.
It is mean.
People are lazy. Mean. People are always looking for advantages. People don't want to work.
No.
I don't
want to work, but I got to. You got to do a bunch of stuff you don't want to do.
Shut up and get your job done.
All right.
Look at those walls.
Look at those walls.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Remember, he loved these walls.
Look at that wall. Look at the wall back in the distance. Look at this building right here. Look at this wall over here. It's even bigger. Look at this wall.
Look at this wall. It's even bigger.
Yeah, he likes big walls.
Look at those walls. Today we're going to paint the living room. Today we're going to clean the garage.
There's some headlines right here. I don't know if we'll get into any of these, but Trump UFO disclosure predicted to come just days after mysterious insider tip. So the betting markets are going crazy that Trump is going to maybe acknowledge the presence of aliens or some sort of UFO thing. And it all comes down to the betting markets. The betting markets are going crazy over this. So we'll see. Trump doesn't seem too keen on this topic at all.
Huh.
And they needed.
He got. If you remember his first term, he was much more open to it. In fact, even He had that sit down with his son talking about Area 51 and all this. I think he got a talking to.
He may have. Like, if he's really curious about it, and he's like, well, you know that war we're going to lose with China? We have UFO technology that would help prevent that loss. He has to know this, but Trump's doing his own thing. He doesn't really care about too much. It doesn't seem like he cares about this kind of stuff. So let's see. Do I have that Trump clip here? Here's Trump UFO Roswell.
Before you leave office, will you let us know if there's aliens? Because this is the only thing I really want to know. I want to know what's going on. Would you ever open up Roswell and let us know what's really going on there?
So many people ask me that question.
I know it sounds almost ridiculous, but it's actually the real question I want to know.
It sounds like a cute question, but it's actually, there are millions and millions of people that want to go there, that want to see it. I won't talk to you about what I know about it, but it's very interesting. But Roswell's a very interesting place with a lot of people that would like to know what's going on.
So you're saying you may declassify? Oh. You'll take it?
Well, I'll have to think about that one, right? I'll have to think.
He got briefed about something.
Yeah, we can't say we have hypersonic missiles because we have interdimensional missiles.
Yeah.
My mother would say, you love trucks. I do.
Yeah, so the betting markets are going crazy over that. There's a headline here. Ohio Senate passes cannabis law, including new penalties for some adult use. These damn Ohio Republicans just cannot leave this topic alone. They want to get in there. They want to fudge and regulate, over-regulate, and all this kind of crap. It's really annoying. We did something good here in Ohio by passing weed legalization or use of weed. And the Republicans won't leave it alone. Another headline here. Have you seen this AI-generated man? Police swap suspect sketches for AI. Let's take a look at this. It's only a matter of time that this is going to happen, Gretchen. Now they're going to put these sketch artists out of work. Oh man, they changed the address. It's no longer here. Interesting. Maybe I'll just search for the headline here and see if that comes up. I guess here we go. Have you seen this AI-generated man? And here's like a new version of a police sketch. And remarkably, so they got this. Gretchen, up on screen, could you please bring up a picture of Tim Pool, and so we can compare side to side what Tim Pool looks like versus this AI criminal that they put up. It's almost like they're not maybe intentionally, unintentionally, I don't know. But this does look like Tim Pool.
Hey, yo.
That's not Tim. That's not. That is.
That's a guy at a pool.
That's a husky man wearing a hat dancing in front of a pool. That is not Tim Pool.
This one?
That is Tim Pool as Captain Picard, or at least. Well, I was hoping you'd get the Tim Pool picture with a beanie hat on. Maybe can you bring up the picture of Tim Pool dancing? Do Tim Pool dancing and see if that comes up.
This one?
Yes, there we go. Perfect. That looks like Tim Pool. The AI guy and then Tim Pool, that's the same.
Let me get here's a better picture. Similar facial expression on this one too.
Yes, that's perfect. Right there. Yes, they basically did this article and generated a criminal that looks like Tim Pool. Well, after a late November shooting in Phoenix suburb, police released an apparent mugshot of their suspect, a middle-aged man wearing a hoodie and a beanie with a goatee, and appealed to the public for tips. It came with a warning. This AI-generated image is based on victim witness statements and does not depict a real person. It looks like Tim Pool. We found him. He's in West Virginia hosting a streaming show. So, okay. We got him.
My guy.
Let's see here. What is this all about? It's a long article about AI. This is a very long article about AI sketches. Let's see.
If you recall, there was an AI version of the the alleged assassin of the Charlie Kirk assassination, somebody released an AI version that was quote unquote enhancing one of the security camera photos.
Oh yeah,
and it changed his face and all sorts of stuff. And
it did.
And people started to circulate it as like, oh, look, they got a much higher resolution one because they used AI to enhance it, but it changed the guy's face. So even if that is the assassin of the guy who assassinated Charlie Kirk, it would now his face is different. So now you're looking for somebody else, not the guy who went down to Dairy Queen to get a delicious peanut butter parfait.
Need I say more?
Well, it goes on to say here, so how this article winds up, it's the same argument. Either if it's a composite sketch or if it's an AI drawing, he said, my job is to say, hey, this is the witness or the victim's image that they had in their head, and they were happy with it, and they said, that's the person. So whether you're describing it to an artist or an AI, they're claiming it's the same result. Other law enforcement agencies have contacted this person to ask about his AI image and said he plans to use AI for all his suspect sketches going forward. So, okay. This guy's getting some more
all
work.
his suspects look like Tim Pool.
Yeah, pretty much all his suspects will look like a white guy with a goatee and a beanie on who looks very concerned.
Wow.
All right. Well, that's coming, people. It's coming all across the country here soon.
Well, it is somewhat disturbing is not the right word, but it's concerning.
It's concerning
because when you work with a police sketch artist, you have somebody who's like they're using their experience, they're using their mental image of what someone's describing as they kind of go through and ask a lot of questions. There's a lot of
story,
or in the case of AI, a lot of prompting and a lot of back and forth. To narrow down a prompt, whereas if you just go ask AI, I'm just going to give it a couple of descriptive terms. It's just going to generate something like, I don't know, I look like him. So,
yeah, it's laziness. The sketch artist no longer want to sketch. It really is. I think it's coming down to laziness.
Well, that sketch artist just got fired. So.
And I think the sketch artist is using AI.
Yeah, but if the sketch artist can do it, Mike, I'm just going to have one of my...
I know. Once the police department...
Junior officers over here do it.
Yeah,
you can do it on his phone, in his car.
Yeah, and that's what's going to happen.
You can sit in the cruiser, punch it in the phone, done. That's the guy.
It's dangerous. That's dangerous because then they can just punch in anything they want and they say they found the guy. And they at least draw you in and drag you in for harassment, questioning, and then get you to confess because that's what they can do.
Oh, that's a good point. So you could you come up with your AI sketch, you find the person you want to arrest, you arrest that person.
Yep.
Then you take a photo of that person's face, send it back to the AI prompt and say, now modify it, put this guy's face on there.
Yeah, like blend them.
Look, we got him.
I got another headline here for everyone out there. The British government is withholding data that may link COVID jabs to excess deaths. So that's concerning.
This is a couple of weeks old, I think.
Yeah, it's that British guy over there is talking about it. A lot more information is coming about this whole COVID thing that went down. You guys remember COVID? Well,
did anybody in that just raised a question? Did anybody in that Reason article we released claim that long COVID, which isn't a thing by the way, that long COVID is a disability?
No, not that I saw. It wasn't mentioned, but it should be.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's a missed opportunity. I have trouble focusing, bad at managing time, and I have long COVID.
There is a lot of upset people, I guess myself included, that want to see some sort of justice, responsibility. After we read that article, the German study where the COVID tests produced 86% false positives, which definitely I would assume that contributed to the panic and the pandemic itself, and that allowed them to implement laws and regulations and tell people, boss people around.
The PCR test they were using, and they were running like 35, 40 cycles to get the numbers. Like, see, look, COVID.
And it's also come out that the COVID jabs did cause deaths, and specifically in children. And now we have this from the UK, is that the British government is withholding data that could provide that link, at least over there in the UK. I think Robert F. Kennedy is doing that down here, but we're not seeing any sort of justice. We're not seeing anybody held accountable. We're not seeing any executives being brought in front of Congress. It appears the bureaucratic state is still in place, and they're holding their own. It appears as though the deep state is winning at this point.
Well, I think anything related to pharmaceutical reports, because there's so much media capture by the pharmaceutical companies, even if this is 100% guaranteed, lock of the week true, unequivocal, no one's going to report on it. So thus it will never get anywhere.
The Deep State Department.
Yeah, the Deep State Department is in full effect. And this is what is upsetting a lot of diehard MAGA people out there. And I would say just conservatives in general who had to go through this. I almost lost my job because of this.
I did lose my job.
You lost your job? I almost lost my job over this. And this was a directive handed down by Biden, pushed through OSHA. And no one, that is a pure dictatorial move, and no one is calling it that. And no accountability. But there are people angry that there's no accountability. So I'll play this guy. He's I guess, I would consider a MAGA guy that
I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily say this is tied to MAGA.
No?
I don't necessarily agree with that correlation. I think there's a lot more people out there that you wouldn't necessarily lump under the MAGA umbrella who are still pissed at the COVID response, at the vaccines. We the story of the vaccines and turbo cancer, which I am 100% convinced killed my sister-in-law because she got, all of a sudden, someone in her mid-40s develops super duper 7 types of turbo cancer and then dies within 2 years. No, that's entirely vaccine related. So there's a lot of that stuff out there that I think goes way beyond just the tying it to the label of MAGA.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, I'll just play this guy. This is a rant from a guy who's kind of upset at what's going on or what's not going on. I'll bring it up on the screen. Kind of gives an assessment of his view.
So for the first time in 28 years, the mayor of Miami gets elected and it's a Democrat. And people are like, where are the Republicans? Why didn't they show up? Why would they show up, bro? Where's the Epstein list? Where is the accountability for COVID and the scam that happened to all Americans, where the big corporations got bigger and the mom and pop shops had to close, where they literally shut down the truth about medications that were helping people and watched them die? What about justice for the people that were mandatorily required to get the vaccine? They got it, and now they're having heart issues because they're DMing me all the time. Some of them 1 foot in the grave. Where's the accountability for the freaking Russiagate scandal, where the actual president of the United States plotted and told the mainstream media to go along with it while they lied to everybody and tried to subvert the will of the American public by making everybody think that Trump was involved with Russia? Where's the accountability? I'm glad Trump sealed the border, but we're having slower deportation rates than Obama did. And at this pace, it's not going to put a dent in it. How's your guys' grocery bills, by the way? Way lower? Mine aren't. My gas is down 40 cents. Neat. Everything else, still shit. Now, it's only been a year, Ross. You got to give these things time. We don't have any time, bro. Do you know how fast the Democrats move when they're actually in power to flush everything down? They don't ask permission before they implode the country. They ask forgiveness. But except they don't actually ask for forgiveness because nobody even tells them anything about it because none of them are being held accountable, bro. They just seem to magically get away with it. Where's the accountability? Why would Republicans show up to vote? They should, because the last thing we want is to see what's going to happen if they don't. But it's starting to feel like the two wings of the same bird thing. Like, bro, you shot all the people that we like. Rand Paul, Thomas Massey, Marjorie Taylor Greene. These people at least said stuff that we're thinking. And Trump hates them to death and loves Lindsey Graham? What? The dude who nonstop desires to go to war? It's hard to care about politics. The only thing I can tell people to do is to get really proficient at business and get proficient at using social media for business, because at least you can make progress in this category. And I'd love to help you do it. I take people by the hand and show them how to become successful at social media and successful at the business side of social media so that you can actually grow. Links in the bio. I'd love to help you. But honestly, that's the basket I put my eggs in now, is how do I become independently successful so that regardless of how stupid the leadership is, I'm capable of thriving. And I'm in a position now where I think you should be doing the same thing, dude. Yeah, get out there and vote because the alternative is terrible if you don't. But at the same time, call these people out and tell them that we demand a certain amount of accountability. And if we don't get it, that only leaves us one option, bro. And nobody wants to see that.
Yeah, I understand that frustration. I think a lot of people feel that way. They feel hoodwinked, hornswoggled. And, it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters what side. But that's what they're feeling now, and Trump is not getting his judges that he wants appointed. No one. What investigations are there? You get Cash and Dan, obviously lying to people. Obviously lying to people about the January 6th pipe bomber. It's like the whole system is absolutely compromised. We know it's entirely compromised. It's just this is a reminder. It doesn't matter.
Do you think we could somehow pin COVID on that same autistic kid from Virginia?
The J6 pipe bomber? Absolutely.
Yeah.
He is the ground zero for COVID. Why not? So I just wanted to play that for people.
He needs special accommodation for his test.
He had a longer timer on his bomb to make sure he can get away because he has walking problems. Let's see here. Another headline. Marco Rubio orders the State Department to stop using Calibri font. So instead of, so he's like, hey, that font we're not using anymore. We're going back to Times New Roman, which is what it was before. And so
I think you should use a copperplate Gothic bold for everything.
Or use disco font on everything. Disco font nonstop.
Okay.
This would be a good one actually for Joe to get to dig into why a typeface was. What is the reasoning behind this? I know people were making a big deal about it, but what story do you have on this?
Yeah, it's a Marco Rubio. And by the way, people are asking, I know you're just like, hey, bring Joe back. I see the comments, and people are saying, just find somebody to replace Joe. There's no replacing Joe. He brings a unique flavor to the show that he's irreplaceable. And to just bring Joe back, how do you just bring somebody back? It's impossible to do. You just can't bring somebody back against their will without a gun, and I'm not going to do that to Joe. But I did talk to him. I did talk to Joe a few days ago. We had an intermittent conversation because of connection issues, mostly cell line. And we had a good conversation. I was just checking in with him, see how he's doing. And it's been a while since I had talked to the guy. And he's doing well. He was on his way to a haircut. And we had a good conversation. And that's all I'm going to say. You know, when Joe chooses to come back, if he chooses to come back, that's up to him. He's got to balance work-life schedule that with podcasting. It's not easy because this show does not make any money. So there's not a lot of time when you're over the age of 35 to just goof around. I'm thankful that Joe has, and Crescent, donated their time to just hanging out and goofing around and talking about this stuff.
I bill you regularly for this.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but that's off air. I'm going to send you some Bigfoot's beer. Do you drink beer?
Not on the show. This is coffee.
Okay. Well, I'm going to send you some Bigfoot beer. But anyways, talk to Joe. He's doing well. And maybe 2026. Was that?
Maybe in the new year. Yeah, maybe in the new year.
Maybe in 2026. You know, he's got some projects that he's still wrapping up. He's feeling better. And that's what I care about. He's feeling better. Like last time we talked to him, he was still dealing with like the repercussions of the bike accident and all that stuff. But he's feeling better. So that's what I'm concerned about. And if and when he comes back, up to him. The door's open.
And if anybody who is not already in the Discord wants to interact with Joe, he does post comments and things in the Discord. So join the Discord. Join Patreon to get access to Discord. And then you can visit with Joe.
Yeah.
Such low-hanging fruit for the dummies.
Yeah, that's what he says. That's what he says.
Bake me a fucking cake!
Joe, you can't say dummies anymore. The preferred term is people who need more time on exams.
Yes. They're neurodivergent.
Do you need more time on that word?
Yeah, I do.
By the way, I'm reading on this this story about the typeface that the Department of State wants to change from Calibri to Times New Roman. I didn't realize this. Calibri is sans serif. Sans serif is not a typeface for large bodies of text. It's for headlines. It's for subheadings. It's because it catches your eye. It's slower to read, and you kind of spend time looking at it. You want to use serif typefaces because the letters naturally flow together. I learned this from my one graphic design course I took.
Yeah.
So your eye follows, and that's why typefaces for large bodies of text are serif. So he's not wrong, Marco Rubio, to say that they shouldn't be using Calibri for all their documentation. They should be using Times New Roman or any other type of serif font. They can still use Calibri for their headlines or their headings or the subheads or any of that stuff. That's fine. But all these people are in here like, no, he's calling it out because it's harder to read. We need more time to read these documents because we're all neurodivergent losers.
I wonder if Trump's going to come in there and just say, hey, make it Comic Sans. Comic Sans across the board for everything.
No, you want comic serif. Is there a serif version of comic?
I know. I don't think there's Comic Serif. It's
That's
Comic
what the Sans and Comic Sans is for, though.
Hey, right. Maybe.
Comic Sans. Is there a Comic Serif? There must be. Let's find out.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah, Macho Man Randy Savage created one in 1978.
Oh, he's a font maker.
He sat there and made his own typeface.
Huh.
Yeah, there's not one that looks similar, but I imagine someone somewhere has created one. But
we'll find out. Joe would probably know, and we'll
Joe
ask
would
him.
know. That's why I want to hear from him on this design question.
Until then, I gotta do this story here, and this is one I brought up last week, and I gotta do it. I gotta find out more about this. Here we go. Woman sues employer for firing her because she came into work too early.
I love that headline.
You brought this up last show, didn't you?
I brought it up. I didn't read it. We never found out why. Like what the
How
real
early?
reason.
Like 7 years early or like 10 minutes?
Now, what I especially like about this article is the AI image they generated to tell the reader what this looks like. And it's the manager on the right is holding up a piece of paper that says fired and is basically showing it to a very sad woman holding a box. And that has to be an HR violation. You can't just hand pieces of paper that says fired on it to your employees. That's very, very sterile. I would imagine that would, if that did actually happen, that would be grounds for a lawsuit.
That's the exact way that Marty McFly was fired by his buddy Needles over a fax in the year 2015.
You're right, he was. So
no, it wasn't Needles. It was his Japanese boss, right?
Yeah, but Needles was on the phone. That was Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Right. Let's see if I can find that beat. Back to the Future, fired. Yeah, here you go.
I'm fired. That's my impression of Michael J. Fox.
McFly.
There it is. Yeah, fired.
Fired.
Very racist. There it is. Yeah. And so that's what
I'd like to think she came in so early she caught the boss doing things she shouldn't have seen.
Well, we're going to find out right now. Coming in too late for work can be considered grounds for dismissal, but it turns out that arriving too early can also be considered a serious problem for employers. A Spanish woman found this out the hard way when she was let go after repeatedly ignoring warnings that she was arriving too early.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
Okay.
A young woman who worked for a delivery company based in some place in Spain. We don't know.
Do I have to go find this word?
Alcante.
Al-Shabaab, what?
Alicante was in the habit of arriving at her place of work between 6:45 and 7 a.m., even though her contract stipulated that she was supposed to start working at 7:30 a.m. This meant that she started her shift earlier than her coworkers, which displeased her manager. She was first reprimanded for her habit in 2023, but she continued to arrive early, ignoring the thinly veiled threats from management.
Wait, what kind of job is this?
Yeah, we got to find out.
Well, unfortunately, this is one of those aggregators. It doesn't actually identify the source of the article, so I don't know. I gotta start researching.
Yeah, we got to find out. I mean, it really could be anything. But yeah, you look. Let me finish this article here, and then we'll figure out what she may have done. We don't know. So earlier this year, her boss decided to fire her for serious misconduct, arguing that by arriving so early, his employee had no task to perform and was therefore making no contributions to the company. The employee didn't see things that way, though, and she challenged the decision in the social court. Well, that's interesting. So you can just say, I don't think so. I don't think that what you're telling me is acceptable. I'm suing you. And we don't even know what she did. She could be anything.
Whether you are an auto mechanic or a farmer or a rancher or a shopkeeper or an insurance salesman or a police officer or in the military or a lawyer or a paralegal, it doesn't matter whether you're a masseuse, whether you're a grocery checker, you could be a police officer, you could be a school teacher, you could be a trash collector, you could be a politician, you could be a musician, you could be a nurse.
Do not show up early to any of those. You'll be fired.
What if you're Batman?
You could be Batman.
Are you the Hulk? Are you Superman? Are you Batman? Are you Aquaman? Are you this? Are you a furry? Are you a reptoid? Are you an alien?
Yeah, don't show up early to reptoids. That's for sure.
Yeah, but if you're a furry, come in whenever you want. Because we know you need more time.
To the young woman's surprise, the court sided with the employer, arguing that by repeatedly ignoring the management's warning, she had a negative impact on the employee-employer relationship. Quote, the worker's conduct had impacted the relationship of trust and loyalty, which is considerably affected. Because despite the company's warnings, the complainant insisted on entering prematurely, the court's ruling read. Ultimately, it is considered that the behaviors attributed to the worker are of sufficient gravity and importance to constitute very serious misconduct of disloyalty, breach of trust, and disobedience, which justifies the termination of the employment relationship. Okay. Could they just find things for her to do in the morning?
Well, best I can find is she worked, this was a parcel, it says a parcel company is best I can find.
A delivery person.
It sounds like it was factory work. If I'm flipping through different stories here and translating and all sorts of crap here, but it sounds like it was factory work. She was clocking in early, but not actually doing any work, which means they were having to pay her for extra time. Now, what's not clear is, was she then leaving early, or was she earning overtime, or what was going on? But she was basically clocking in and not doing anything until the rest of the crew arrived like 30 minutes later.
It is concerning, very concerning.
I've had people pull stuff like this, where especially hourly people will pull like, oh, I had to work extra 15 minutes today or whatever, and they clock in for that, and so it logs as overtime in the system. And I've had to tell them, like, look, if you have to work overtime, because of some issue or something you're addressing, the rest of us would know about it. So it's not like up to you of your own accord to just be like, I'm just gonna get an extra 45 minutes of overtime today. So it's I can see where this would be a recurring.
Yeah, especially over the course of a few years.
Especially if she was warned too, like, hey, knock it off.
Yeah, like at that type of job, sure, I get it. But like an office job, typically you go into the office early. Like I used to go in the office really early because I like to eat my bagel and a coffee at my desk, and then I would start working. But I wanted to eat in peace.
Well, and if you're doing work like you do in cybersecurity or whatever, it's like, I don't care. Go to work start work when you want to start, and finish when you finish, as long as you're getting your job done. I don't care.
Yeah.
Now, way back when I was in college, I worked for all of about 3 weeks at Circuit City, of all places. And one of the reasons that I straight up just quit on that one was I was reprimanded for clocking in early by 1 minute and then clocking out late by 1 minute. And their thing was down to the minute.
Oh, my God.
It was a ridiculous thing. And they basically, and I was still like in, what do you call it, like training mode or whatever. But they're like, oh, no, you got to clock in like when your shift starts. I was like, what is all this crap?
Yeah, it's
like, well, if you're gonna go to that level of scrutiny for this sort of job, then nuts to that. I'll go get a different job.
Yeah.
And then I worked as a plumber after that. So.
Oh yeah, you're a Brown Friday specialist.
This was way before Brown Friday, but yeah, it was what we did. So.
All right, we're going to move on, and we're going to see what Cretched has over there. It's time. Let's get it done.
Oh, man.
Well, first I got the story about people who need extra time on exams.
Oh, okay.
All right. I mentioned this one a few weeks ago, and I think it's worth bringing up because it crossed the transom again today. We heard one of Trump's campaign promises or campaign platforms was one of his planks in his platform was no tax on tips.
Oh, yeah.
I always loved trucks.
That too.
And he loves trucks. And so now the IRS is having to verify the are these tips or not? And one of the things they have to verify is if you're tipping an OnlyFans content creator, can that be taxed or not? And that means they have to watch a bunch of OnlyFans.
My God. Let's see right here. Yes, IRS to watch OnlyFans content in no tax on tips dispute.
Oh, really?
Who's the poor guys that got to do this? I'm going to work overtime. I got to work overtime again.
I need to clock in early. You keep working on this.
Yeah, I got to clock in early and late on this. The Internal Revenues Service agents will have to watch OnlyFans content in order to determine if the content meets the no tax on tips law outlined by President Donald Trump in the One Big Beautiful Bill, according to the report from the New York Times. The no tax on tip proposal has been a pillar of Trump's economic agenda since before 2024. He launched the idea as a way of helping millions of Americans nationwide at a time of growing financial instability. Okay, let's get down to the bill has raised an important question on how tips are defined. According to the New York Times, the IRS may be set to have to review the content of OnlyFans as part of discerning what kind of tips are taxed. This seems bogus. Either they declare them tips or not. They don't. Why would they have to watch in order to determine this?
I got to make sure I didn't miss anything, Mike.
This seems
There's lots of channels, so I got to subscribe to all these.
Passing the law included a caveat, which is that pornographic creators and actors included in those who operate an OnlyFans channel were not entitled to have their taxes waived. Why? There's a vast quantity of content on OnlyFans, and while the platform is best known for pornographic content, there are multiple other kinds of lifestyle content on the site, be it cooking or exercise related. What about, why is there a difference?
I suspect it has to do with the pornography side of things.
This means that taxpayers reporting tips from OnlyFans will likely need to have their content viewed by an IRS agent. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd like an audit. Please watch all of this.
Let's do it.
I have a channel where I have nothing but stuffed animals look like Hulk Hogan, and I have my way with them. So watch all of this.
Well, that's fine. Those are exempt. While the policy has proven popular, it has equally proved difficult to mold into a workable state. The popularity of OnlyFans has surged in recent years. Forbes reported that the $7.2 billion was spent on the site in 2024.
Lord.
Oh, my God.
It's almost as much as we make on the show.
And OnlyFans said that it has 4.6 million creator accounts and 377 accounts on the site. And 77.
Wait, it doesn't make sense. There's a number missing there.
And 377 accounts on its site world. Yeah, it's weird.
I suspect the word million is
May I don't know. Yeah, we got 300 dudes on there spending.
There's only 377 people watching, and they're watching a lot of this.
And they're spending $7 billion. These three dudes.
Yeah, how's that break down? 7.2 billion.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of curious. How much
divided by 377 people? $19,098,143 per person.
Per person in the year 2024. I could see. There's a lot of millionaires out there.
A lot of millionaires.
Yeah, there are. A lot of ugly millionaires out there. Not a six.
I'm gonna watch this guy and his Hulk Hogan dolls.
Let's see here on social media. Okay, whatever. Okay,
blah, 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 blah. Basically, it comes down to a dispute on: is it pornography? Is it social? What do you call it? Social media? Is it content create? There's like several different categories that these could fall into, and so that's why now the IRS has to go back and basically view all of these to determine where do these actually fall and who's do they have to pay taxes or not? So.
And
if your job is to show your hoo-ha on the internets, you're probably paying taxes.
They're going to wrestle with defining what pornography is.
Yeah, what's the famous phrase?
I'll know it when I'll see it.
Right, I can't define pornography, but I know it when I see it.
Yeah. And so they're going to have to define it, and that might be challenged. This could be something that goes to the Supreme Court.
Supreme Court has to watch OnlyFans.
Yes, and that's the next step. Is the Supreme Court, they're going to take 2 years to watch every single OnlyFans account.
There's a lot of this weird Hulk Hogan content we got to get through.
I think that's where it's all going. It's all going to the Supreme Court so they can watch boobs. And then they're going to kick it back to Congress because they don't want to make a decision on this. Yeah. They're going to kick it back to Congress.
Supreme Court can't kick it back to Congress. That's not how this works.
They're going to kick it to Congress. They're going to punt it. And then they
could punt it to a lower court, but
yeah. Oh well, maybe they'll do that. Well, let's see what else you got over there, Cratchit.
Okay.
Hello.
You want some paranormal stuff? We haven't done much paranormal.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
Yes.
B. Arthur was not amused. All right, so here's some paranormal about some strange lightning phenomena that we get photos of every now and then, and NASA's like, oh no, we will tell you what it is. It's a swamp gas and Venus something.
Swamp gas. It's just nothing but swamp gas all the time. Balloons, swamp gas. But here, this comes from spacetechtimes.com. Red jellyfish floating above storm freaks out the internet. NASA reveals the science behind the shock.
That is weird.
Or they just made up a bunch of crap. That's what it sounds like.
Well, it's because they're busy doing this rather than like going into space.
Strange jellyfish lights that appeared above a thunderstorm around the world recently had people talking online. Many were puzzled and curious, with some even speculating.
Puzzled and curious.
Yeah, they're like, you can't be one or the other. You've got to be both. With some even speculating wild ideas about alien activity. Now NASA has stepped in to clarify the mystery. The phenomenon is real, natural, and scientifically fascinating. It is known as a red spear lightning discharge, a rare type of electrical flash that occurs high above powerful storms. Okay. They got a picture of it? No, they don't even offer a picture of it. They just have
it's at the top.
Is that the real picture?
Yeah.
Oh, that's an alien.
Now I'm pissed because somebody posted a thing on Twitter which had an image of it appearing, and I can't find that damn link.
Wow, this is freaked out.
Yeah, and if this is the real picture, I don't know if I'm buying NASA's explanation.
Mike, what the fuck is this?
Will you stop yelling?
Stop yelling?
Let's see here. So, according to NASA here, jellyfish lights are usually flashes of electricity that occur far above the thunderstorm. Unlike the lightning we usually see, which strikes downward towards the ground, these jellyfish lights shoot upward into the sky. Their red color comes from how the high-altitude atmosphere interacts with nitrogen, which lights up when these bursts of energy pass through. Okay.
Whoa!
These flashes happen in the mesosphere, a layer of Earth's atmosphere located roughly 50 to 90 kilometers above the surface. Even though they only last for a few milliseconds, they can spread out like intricate shapes that often resemble jellyfish. Okay. So they got, I guess, the best picture ever up here, and that's what it looks like. And what we're looking at, for people just listening at home, it looks almost kind of like a red heart with a little halo at the bottom of it, and then these tentacles coming, dangling down below it. And that's a hell of a picture right there.
Yeah. So what they're saying is it's a high altitude discharge because of the height of it. And and the color is different. It is bright red. It's similar to what do you call it? I found that link, by the way. It's similar to the aurora borealis. Its interactions with the magnetic field causing that. So, all right, here is one. This is the link that I neglected to capture earlier today. Here's one over Oklahoma, and the guy catching it. Of course, as it happens, he starts waving his phone around like you do when you see something.
Yeah, you start to freak out, and you start to go into seizures, and so you don't get a clear image. So this is what we're looking at right here. Okay, it is a flash. It's very quick. Yeah, I'm trying to step through here. Yeah, it's super quick here. I don't know the frame by frame.
It goes slow mo at the end.
It does. It goes slow mo. There we go.
Well,
wow.
You get one frame of it.
Oh, come on. That looks like some awesome alien stuff right there.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that. That looks like spectacular, like alien biology, giant kind of craziness. It looks fascinating. It looks beautiful, but... Yeah.
So if you want to see this, look up sprite lightning or jellyfish lightning or red sprite lightning. There is a lot of footage out there, and it's basically a high altitude discharge, which looks very strange. Which is why when people see it, it's always kind of a question as to what it is. But it's very cool nonetheless. So if you're out there watching it during a lightning storm or something, and you have the opportunity, remember, as soon as it happens, freak out, yell if you can, and wave your phone around wildly.
Yeah, that helps.
Look it up.
No, I didn't say look it up.
You did say look it up. You said people can go look it up.
Well, I mean, if you find it. God, see, here's another one where someone, I hate this shit. Here's a guy who has a bunch of footage. It's 3 minutes long and says in 4K. And what did he do? He put music behind it and edited the video. Because,
Yeah, you got to pump up your crappy video with spooky music. That's what we know.
No, it's dramatic music.
Oh, it's dramatic.
Sort of
okay.
Like some sort of fireworks show.
I will listen to this.
Let's see. It looks like it starts at about, at least where I'm seeing it. Let's go to about 2 minutes in.
Of the USA
about 2 minutes in?
The most dynamic weather events.
Okay.
Sprite lightning.
That's just too much. It's just too much.
Yeah. So it is a cool phenomenon. Maybe it's aliens. Maybe it's the portals from the other dimensions. Maybe it's off-gassing from the alien technology they use for propulsion. But NASA says, shut up, it's lightning.
Okay. All right.
That's the official statement.
It's lightning. We'll move on.
Okay.
Got any KISS news?
I don't have any KISS news.
No.
Was there KISS news?
Yeah, Trump was hanging out with KISS and inducted him and gave him like a Kennedy's Honor Award or some crap.
He did the whole thing dressed as a member of KISS.
Yeah, he did that. That was pretty cool. Came out of Starman.
Right, here's Trump news then. So Trump likes to do these press conferences on Air Force One.
Mm-hmm.
And this time he posted up right next to the can. And let's just say someone's in there.
What?
In this video.
Somebody was in the bathroom when he posted. That's got to be awkward when someone's giving a press conference right outside your bathroom stall.
And when that someone is Trump.
That's tough.
And he knows you're in there, so I think he's just dragging it out.
Probably. Sticking his foot under there, harassing the person in the toilet stall. Yeah.
And there's a video of him reacting.
All right, let's take a look at this. Okay. So here it is on screen. See if I can get this going, people. Oh yeah, Trump. This is the headline here. Trump repeatedly bumps the bathroom door during hilarious Air Force One gaggle. Come on out. So someone's hiding in there and doing God knows what in there, and probably just utterly destroying the bathroom on Air Force One.
Now they're having the nervous shits.
Yeah.
I like to take care of it. I like to take care. Somebody's in there. Come on out. Mr. President, capacity agreement.
So Trump was standing there. He got bumped into by the door.
It's like 2 or 3 times they tried to open the door.
Yeah, so Trump played it off as best as he could. But we didn't find, the clip wasn't long. We didn't find out who was in there. We got to find out who that guy was. We're assuming it's a guy. It could have been anybody.
I suspect
Hulk Hogan.
I think it was Tom Pappert.
No, it could have been Tom Pappert, but no, I don't think so.
Harry Fleming.
I think there's a question as to whether or not it was a member of the White House staff or whether it was a member of the press. I suspect it was a member of the press because they didn't immediately identify the person. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, they cover for their own. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
Big Jim Tucker.
Yeah, you can tell he was Big Jim Tucker because he leaves huge logs in there. And he never flushes. It's like his calling card. Okay, we'll move on here. There's the little Trump news.
People are flushing toilets 10 times, 15 times.
All right, so here's a story from merry old England, where somebody parked their car. They were gone for a few days. Came back to a whole bunch of parking tickets.
Whoa!
Because while they were gone, the city painted a bunch of lines around it that requires a disabled pass.
Oh. Okay. I don't know how I feel yet. Fine issued after disabled bay painted around car.
Oh, wow.
A man received 4 parking tickets when a disabled bay was painted around his legally parked car while he was away on holiday. CCTV footage shows, or shared on social media, shows a contractor measuring and painting the bay after the owner, who did not wish to be named, had left his car on the unrestricted outside of his home, unrestricted road outside his home. The total penalty for the charges was placed on the car between 22 and 26 of November, following the construction of the bay on the 17th. Let's see, the council apologized for the confusion and confirmed that the tickets were canceled a week before the video was uploaded to social media. Yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of backlash on this because this guy was legally parked. And
there's footage above. You can see it. And so literally a truck shows up and the guy paints a disabled space around the car that's already there.
Yeah, this is the kind of shit that, like, pardon my language, this is the kind of stuff that China would do, where they'll just build roads like right next to houses and like they do stuff like this instead of like maybe they could have moved the car, found out the car's owner, contacted the owner, or just postponed.
Tickets.
Yeah, tickets. Yeah, okay.
Bunch of tickets. Mike, you're parked in a handicapped spot. Like I wasn't before. Well, you are now.
So right here, there was no prior notification.
Fuck them.
Yeah, the vehicle owner told BBC
We
London.
waited for the guy to leave. We hid in the bushes outside, waiting for him to leave.
We yelled on the street, "We're doing this," and no one showed up. The vehicle owner told BBC, "It really put a damper on my holiday because I had to keep checking my camera to see what was wrong, and there's nothing I could do."
I didn't realize that. So he's checking in because he's getting notifications on his, from his cameras.
Breaking into my car.
Just seeing tickets get added to his car.
Why? I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go out and do the things I wanted to do because I was worried about the amount of tickets I was accumulating. Well, yeah, it's on a budget. He's traveling on a budget. After he got back from his travels, he saw he had 2 tickets on his windscreen, and a further 2 had been removed by an unknown individual. Someone really wanted to pay those tickets for him.
Yeah. I'm going to pass it on by paying your tickets.
The disabled bay was put up in place in response to requests from a resident. Are they calling him like disabled? Like you're disabled now.
This guy's so bad at parking, he should have a handicap space painted around his car.
You could go to Stanford. You're so disabled. While the owner agrees the disabled bay itself is important, he criticized the council's lack of notification before the creation, saying it's the same as doing an extension or any other road work. You let people know without any communication with your community. That's the wrong way of doing it. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Online abuse. The council said contractors painting the bay around the car was standard practice to avoid delays, explaining otherwise we would have to wait for these spaces to be free, which may have taken weeks, the council person said. Unfortunately, one of our parking attendants was not informed and issued parking tickets. However, these were not processed into fines because we had a note on the system from our contractor. What if that note wasn't there? You would have fined him then.
What if you didn't have video footage of this happening? Yeah. This dude would have had to pay all these tickets.
Exactly. The council added that the car parking attendant had suffered online abuse after the video got leaked online, and asked the residents with concerns contact us directly and not to abuse staff carrying out their duties. Don't make fun of them. Don't call them fat pieces of crap.
Don't make fun of this person. They went to Stanford.
Yeah. Yeah, they would have. You know it. You're absolutely right. They would have fined this guy and take if they had not received any sort of backlash. They just would have taken his money.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, that's disappointing, but justice was served somehow, I guess.
Maybe.
No way.
All right, so here's another story about some crime happening around a car.
Oh.
This guy used a brand new excuse as to why he's not liable.
Man claimed he teleported into stolen BMW before the 130-mile-per-hour crash, deputies say.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if this is possible. I'm willing to entertain this, though. We talk about weird, wild stuff here in the show, and there's nothing to say that he didn't teleport. And I'm sure this is exactly what he...
You can't prove that I didn't.
This is the exact logic he's going to use with the judge.
New at 5, a man tells...
Hold on a second.
Yeah, there's a local news story.
I love it. I love local news.
Deputies that he was teleported into a stolen car.
But a trail of destruction tells a much clearer story. Fox 35's Chancellor Wynn has the wild body camera video that has many people saying, only in Florida.
Deputies hear a lot of excuses when they ask people, so why'd you do it? But this is a new one.
I teleported or something.
Where'd you get the car from?
I don't know. It's Calvin. I don't know. I teleported.
Officer, where's your fire suit? Come over here. Give me just 1 second. Yeah. Put your hands up on my car.
Yes, sir.
That's 36-year-old Calvin Johnson with the bloody face. And you heard him right. He told the deputy he teleported into a stolen car and crashed it.
Okay.
Signal 20 says
Oh, my God.
He stole the car.
This started at Bicentennial Park in Ormond Beach. A man walking his dog left the keys of his BMW convertible in the car, and deputies say a thief jumped on the opportunity. A witness describes the strange interaction he had with the suspect.
Who'd you see get into it?
It was a guy probably maybe 30 years old. It wasn't his car?
No.
Looked like he was teleporting.
Light, and I was like, how in the world does he have a BMW if he doesn't have a light?
Who's shimmering?
A few minutes later, this happens.
130 miles an hour, and I swear to God, that's his boat.
The stolen BMW crashes at Old Dixie Highway and Plantation Oaks Boulevard. Good Samaritans stop to help.
Kirk here.
Cut him out of his seat. It's not his.
And then everyone learns the car is stolen.
You saved me from the aliens.
After the deputy puts out the lingering fire, the suspect is driven, not teleported, to the hospital and then to jail. Chancellor Wynn, Fox 35 News.
Wow, so
And
you
that
screwed up
convertible
line
was
at
not
end
the
there.
only Volusia County crash caught on camera. A car took a nosedive into Lake.
Yeah, blah, 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 blah. See, the guy said he was transported, not teleported. He's like, after which deputies teleported him to jail, sort of thing. But he screwed up that line.
Yeah.
That's a new one on me, is somebody claiming they mysteriously teleported into the car.
First time I've heard the excuse used in an accident. But there are cases, time slips, there are cases of people teleporting. Typically, it's from one time period to another. And typically, from all the stories that I read, it's not during 130 mile an hour chase or in the process of stealing a car. So yeah, that's a bit concerning. He did mention aliens in there at the end. No need to bring those guys into this. The teleportation technology is a whole different thing. I think he's got to stick with one story and stick with it. As soon as you bring aliens into it, you're really muddying things up here. Stick with the teleportation thing. Plead with the judge that it wasn't you. And obviously, that's a tough one to sell, but it's possible.
So you're saying if he simplified his story,
yes,
maybe he would have got along with it.
Simplify your story, saying I don't know where I was. I was like, what you guys say? What year is it? What year is it? I don't recognize. I don't recognize any of these automobiles. I'm from the year 1986 or something like that. You got to, if you're going to go for
no, because then they'd be able to look him up. He's got to be from the future.
Oh, you're right. He's got to be coming from the future. Yeah, you're right. That's a better story.
Because they can't verify that.
Yeah. It's like, oh, my God, I just got here. What day is it? Oh, my God, I'm from next Wednesday.
What year is it? Oh, I went too far.
But then they would be able to check that, too, if you're just from next Wednesday, because that means the other you is somewhere out there, too. And so
not if it's far enough out.
If you're far enough in the future, they can't check. So if you're from the year 5000, then you're pretty safe. So yeah, he's got to think this through. He's not thinking. He's got to think through.
I think the cop should have played along with this and then written him a ticket for teleporting without a license.
Instead, he kept asking for a light. The witness said, "I thought, how does he have a BMW if he doesn't even have a lighter for cigarettes?" Oh, well, sometimes people lose lighters. All right, and especially if you're from the future.
Cars these days don't come with cigarette lighters anymore.
Yeah, and if you're from the future, they got like laser lighters. They don't have like those. You lose those things all the time.
You hold them up. You let the Sprite lightning light your cigarettes.
And he went on to say, "You saved me from the aliens," Johnson told the deputy after the crash. One firefighter extinguished the flames. Deputies took Johnson to the hospital and later to county jail. Johnson is charged with grand theft and driving while his license is canceled, suspended, or revoked. Not unlicensed teleportation?
No, teleportation is cool. In Florida, they're very lackadaisical about that. Very laissez-faire.
Guess you just can do it.
You teleport wherever you want in Florida.
Okay.
New Jersey, you're getting tickets.
Yeah, because it can be very dangerous. Like this crash is the example. You can't teleport into a moving car. Very dangerous. Got to have situational awareness, and it doesn't provide that.
All of a sudden, you're going 130 miles an hour.
Oh, yeah. Oh my God. Now I got to drive. No. I swear that probably happened to Sam in Quantum Leap quite a bit, where he teleported into somebody, and he's like, "Oh my God!"
Into a kid riding a bike. All of a sudden, shit!
You remember that one episode where he teleported into a Stanford student? He looked in the mirror. God. Oh man,
that was the episode took longer. It was 2 hours long.
Yeah, it was a very special Stanford episode.
They needed an extra hour for that one.
Yeah. You got one more, Cratcher, or do you want to get out of here?
Oh, let's see if I got a shorty here. Let's see. Oh,
while you look, here you go.
I'm very proud of my son.
So one of the current memes floating around is 6'7", which all the kids like to yell at each other whenever they feel like it, with no rhyme or reason associated with it.
I like to run around and yell 2.
2? Maybe 4.
Yeah, 2, maybe 4.
Nope. 6'7". That's what you want to be saying. Ask your kids. One Well, they've been taking it to another level. They've been going to local restaurants that like to read out the order of the number when they're serving that order, and they've been deliberately ordering things to try to get the number 67 on their order. Well, here's a story of a restaurant chain who has simply removed that from their system, which is now making people disappointed.
Yeah, I can see that. And it looks like there's a local news story.
There's a local news story. Yep.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. How could they put the story on YouTube? That's exactly what I want.
In-N-Out Burger is taking a stand against the viral 67 that you keep hearing kids holler. When the fast food chain calls out order numbers for pickup, 67 is no longer among them. Apparently before, the number kept causing uproars and chaos in the restaurant. 67 is the second number to get banned from In-N-Out's ticketing system. The other, you might have guessed it.
69.
69.
Two.
We don't believe in two here. You got rid of two?
Two.
Yeah. These kids, they're bored. Probably neurodivergent. Probably suffering from a lot of anxiety and probably have self-esteem.
They're bad at managing their time.
Yeah. Poor time management. That's all right. We're going to get out of here, people. Here we go. Oh, wow. Listen to that. I get that clicking again.
Is it in this track? Mute it. Or pause it.
It's in the track. I think it could be the show leveler. It could be. Let me turn up the show leveler and see if it
sounds electrical.
No, I turned up the show leveler. It is, I believe, the limiter I'm using. Yep, it's the limiter. I'm going to figure it out.
Did you have it way down?
It shouldn't be clipping that much. It's the same limiter I use on my M1 Mac. This is the M4 Mac. And so I think it's how this M4 is processing the plugin. And so I got to figure out why it's processing this plugin so inefficiently.
It sounds like a voltage thing.
Yeah, but I don't know how that's applicable to this plugin. I don't know. Well, I'm going to figure it out.
Is your interface USB?
No.
Oh, well, then nuts to that theory.
No, everything's going analog to
I'm all
the
out
board.
of ideas.
No, I think the bass is driving that limiter too hard. But anyways, you can go to OBDMpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. Hit the Patreon. $1 a month gets you into the Discord. $5 a month gets you access to a whole host of audio. All the OBDM episodes as I release them. There's some oldies and some goodies on there, and there's some not so goodies. But
did you say there's some old oldies?
There's some oldies and some goodies. And there's some old oldies. I think there's some stuff from me and Bradford, one of the original co-hosts. Spanky's on there. One of the original
one you
co-hosts.
just released the other day?
Relax, I Love You. I think that's what it is. And the audio quality is somewhat okay.
It's getting better.
It's okay. The audio quality is pretty good on those old shows. I'm kind of amazed. But
oh no, it was the Art Bell, Bruce Moen.
Oh, that one, yes. Yeah, a lot of Art Bell up there too. A lot of goodies, a lot of audio goodies. But we'll be back on Saturday.
We'll be back on Saturday. 2 Saturdays from now, the 27th. Actually, we're gonna have to talk.
Yeah, we got to talk.
You probably have some holiday stuff.
Yeah, I got big holiday stuff coming.
We're gonna move some shows around.
Yes, we will.
All right.
Thank you, Crasher. Thank you, everyone. Shab Lagoo.
Keep watching those skis because there's weird sprite lightning up there.
Well, you want to well played.
Damn, that's shut up. A hardcore hour of shocking paternity results.
This stuff sucks.
That's about all.
Shablagu.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Well, now you know the rest of the story.
Pound Town.